Nature makes no promises. It simply sets the test. Those who pass survive. The rest become history. The sun climbs to its zenith above the African savannah. A fierce, unrelenting light pours down, scorching the vast landscape into a single, burning gold. Silence hangs over everything. No bird song. Only the crushing weight of the midday heat, pressing down upon every blade of grass. But remember this, on the African savannah, silence never means peace. Silence is the moment just before something dies. Somewhere in that sea of golden grass, a hunt has already begun, and both hunter and prey know, with absolute certainty, that only one of them will see tonight's sunset. The lioness spots a kudu drinking at the water's edge. The kudu must lower its head below the bank. Its line of sight completely blocked. She waits. Then she strikes. One decisive bite. Another meal for the pride. This is not a grassland. This is a battlefield where three entirely different wars rage every single day upon the very same ground. To understand this battlefield, we must begin with the creature they call king. The lion's crown weighs far more than anyone imagines. Each day he roars a thunderous declaration of power. That roar carries nearly 5 miles, propelled by uniquely square-shaped vocal cords that generate extraordinarily low frequencies. A mature male weighs roughly 420 pounds, dwarfing the females at around 265 to 285. Raw strength belongs to the male, but the survival of the entire pride rests in the paws of the females. And therein lies the greatest paradox of all. The creature hailed as lord and sovereign is, in truth, the most replaceable member. On the savannah, power has never been permanent. It is merely something you borrow until someone comes to take it back. Now, let us return to the prey from our opening scene, for the kudu's story is not that of a victim, but of a master of concealment. The greater kudu is often called the most beautiful antelope in all of Africa. The spiraling horns of the male can reach 6 feet along the curve, and only males possess them. Count the twists upon those horns, and you can estimate his age, each full spiral representing roughly 2 years of life. Those horns are both weapon and chronicle, a history carved upon his very head. But the most remarkable thing about the kudu is not its horns. It is where it chooses to live. Kudu inhabit open woodland, dense with scrub and thicket, a place where camouflage is worth far more than speed. The pale vertical stripes along its flanks, what biologists call disruptive coloration, shatter the animal's outline amid the interplay of light and shadow, allowing a creature weighing several hundred pounds to simply vanish into the bush. When danger is detected, its first response is not to flee but to freeze completely. Ears rotating to pinpoint the threat, eyes tracking, but the entire body motionless as a statue. It stakes its life upon a single conviction: you cannot see me. Moving through dense woodland, it is virtually silent, a true phantom. Outside the mating season, males live in solitude, drifting through the open bush alone, without herd, without sound. Weighing between 420 and nearly 600 pounds, capable of reaching 43 miles per hour in short bursts. And contrary to what many assume, kudu do not graze on grass. They browse, feeding on leaves, shoots, and fruit. A dedicated folivore, but those magnificent horns conceal a deadly trap. If the kudu represents the aristocratic grace of the savannah, then the next creature occupies the opposite end of the spectrum. Ugly, ungainly, often dismissed as an easy meal. But do not be so quick to judge. The African warthog. Its name comes from the fleshy protuberances on its face, though these are not true warts at all. They are pads of bone and cartilage, designed to shield the face during violent confrontations. The warthog possesses another curious feature: thick, hardened calluses on its front knees. Thanks to these, it can kneel for hours to crop grass close to the ground and dig for roots and tubers without the slightest discomfort. And then there are the weapons. Its lower tusks are continuously self-sharpening, honed by constant friction against the upper pair. Every time it opens its mouth, the blade is stropped anew, always ready. Now, imagine a leopard spots it. The leopard closes in from downwind. Patient, precise, then the pounce. It pins the warthog to the ground. But the warthog wrenches free and bolts fast as the wind. Even the creature dismissed as the ugliest thing on the savannah can leave a supreme assassin like the leopard, bewildered and empty-handed. The first lesson of this battlefield: Never judge a creature by its appearance. But the solitary hunt is only the first front. For on the savannah, there are hunters who need no individual strength at all. They possess something far more terrifying, an army. In the blaze of the daytime heat, a pack of creatures prepares for the hunt. The African wild dog, or painted wolf, as conservationists prefer to call them. Each individual carries a coat pattern as unique as a human fingerprint, so distinctive that researchers identify every single animal by its markings alone. But the truly extraordinary thing lies in how they organize their society. Only the alpha pair breeds, yet the entire pack raises the young. Some serve as babysitters, others hunt and return to regurgitate food for the pups, for nursing mothers, and even for injured members. No one is left behind. This is perhaps the only natural welfare state in existence. And before every hunt, they vote by sneezing. Enough sneezes, and the pack sets out. Too few, and they lie down and rest a while longer. If the alpha initiates the rally, as few as 3 sneezes will do. An ordinary member needs 10 or more. When the hunt begins, their weapon is not speed at roughly 40 miles per hour. They are slower than many of their prey. Their weapon is endurance and relay tactics. When one tires, another takes over. The pursuit never stops. Wild dogs have only 4 toes on each foot, a feature unique among all canids, built expressly for distance running. The white-tipped tail serves as a signal flag, keeping the pack united through dense bush and swirling dust. Their hunting success rate, 80%. Lions manage just 25. Leopards, 38. Cheetahs, 58. A pack of 6 to 20 individuals seemingly slow, unglamorous, regurgitating food for one another is, in fact, the single most efficient killing machine on the savannah. But this perfect army is vanishing. Fewer than 6,600 mature individuals remain. Their range has contracted by 93%. Disease from domestic dogs, conflict with livestock, habitat fragmentation. The most successful hunters on the continent are losing the survival war of their own. The impala has been dubbed the McDonald's of the bush. Virtually every predator eats it. With a population of roughly 2 million, it is the most abundant, medium-sized antelope in Africa and the most heavily hunted. And yet, it has not gone extinct because the impala is anything but helpless. Top speed, 50 to 56 miles per hour. Vertical leap, 10 feet. Horizontal bound, nearly 40 feet. Direction changes mid-air. The males carry lyre-shaped horns up to 3 feet long, a final line of defense when every avenue of escape has failed. The wild dogs have been watching for some time an impala separated from the herd. They take turns in pursuit, never allowing the prey a moment to catch its breath. The impala collapses. The pack tears into the carcass before any scavenger can arrive. The dry season arrives. Water sources dwindle. And around each remaining pool, a new war is kindling. To understand this third front, we must meet the ruler of the water. The hippopotamus. The most dangerous large animal in Africa. Each year, hippos kill an estimated 500 people, a figure widely cited, though it varies by source. Regardless, it is believed to cause more human deaths than lions, crocodiles, and Cape buffalo combined. A truth that stands in stark contrast to its sluggish appearance. For the hippo, the water's surface is sacred territory. A dominant bull divides his pool into distinct zones. Each zone is an inviolable kingdom. Step into the wrong one, and it is a death sentence. When issuing a warning, it gapes its jaws to 150 degrees. And inside lie canine teeth stretching up to 20 inches longer than a child's forearm. The bite force of a hippopotamus registers at approximately 1,800 psi. Enough to crush virtually anything caught between those jaws. And do not let its bulk deceive you. On land, a hippo weighing between 3,300 and 4,400 pounds can still sprint at nearly 19 miles per hour. To feed, it leaves the water along fixed pathways, what locals call hippo highways, connecting pool to grazing ground. And anyone who happens to stand on that path between a hippo and its water is staring death in the face. There is a peculiar phenomenon associated with this species. The hippo's skin secretes a reddish fluid that resembles blood. For centuries, people believed it was sweating blood. It is not blood at all. It is an acid called hipposudoric acid, functioning as both a natural sunscreen and an antimicrobial agent. The hippo manufactures its own chemical armor from its very skin, shielding itself beneath the scorching sun. Each day, it can consume up to 88 pounds of grass. That enormous gut plays a surprising role. Hippo dung fertilizes the aquatic ecosystem, nourishing fish and microorganisms across entire river systems. Underwater, a hippo can hold its breath for approximately 5 minutes. And here is a fact few people know. The hippo does not actually swim. It walks along the riverbed, pushing itself to the surface and then sinking back down again. Hippo calves nurse underwater. An automatic reflex seals their nostrils and ears each time they submerge, born pre-programmed for life beneath the water's surface. That is the hippopotamus. Sluggish when viewed from a distance. But an absolute despot within its watery domain. And now, the dry season is about to put that authority to the test. For as the water recedes, another creature approaches, one larger even than the hippo. One that even the lord of the waterhole does not dare underestimate. The elephants are coming. The peak of the dry season. The last water hole has contracted to shallow mud. Inside, the hippos claimed this territory long ago. Outside, the elephants advance. The calves need water. They need it now. Two titans, one pool. The hippo gapes its jaws, flashing those 20-inch canines. The elephant mother kicks a spray of water, a declaration of war. The waterhole does not belong to whichever is stronger. It belongs to whichever needs it more in that precise moment. And when both giants finally withdraw, leaving behind a churning slurry of mud, there is a third presence lying motionless beneath the surface, waiting. But before we meet it, let us look more closely at the creature that just dared challenge the Lord of the Waterhole. The African elephant, the largest land animal on the planet. A mature bull can weigh between 11,000 and 13,000 pounds. But size is not the most fascinating thing about it. The elephant is an engineer of ecosystems. They dig wells to find water. They topple trees to open up grasslands. They create habitat for hundreds of other species. Under normal conditions, the elephant is a builder of life. But the dry season transforms the builder into an invader. When water disappears, herds are forced into the territory of hippos, of crocodiles, of every living thing that depends upon that final remaining pool. The survival of one species becomes a threat to another. An elephant mother carries her calf for 22 months, the longest gestation of any land animal. In the world of elephants, a baby never belongs to a single mother. It belongs to the entire family. But this magnificent, intelligent, deeply emotional creature faces an enemy against which 5 tons of muscle is utterly useless. The African elephant is now classified as endangered. As of 2022, an estimated 415,000 savanna elephants remain. And the most devastating number of all is this. Due to ivory poaching, it is estimated that one elephant is killed every 15 minutes. In the time it has taken you to watch this far, elephants have fallen not to lions, not to hippos, but to the value of their own tusks. Now we return to the waterhole. The hippo rules the surface. The elephant commands the shore. But there is one more kingdom, the kingdom below. The Nile crocodile. Sovereign of the submerged world. And the crocodile understands its place within this hierarchy with exquisite precision. It does not attack an adult hippo. The hippo's bite is stronger, and its hide too thick. In return, adult hippos also avoid large crocodiles. This is a strange peace between two monsters, a mutual respect, founded on the understanding that a battle between them would produce no victor. But that peace extends only to each other. For anything else that enters the water is prey. When submerged, the crocodile's heart rate slows to just 2 or 3 beats per minute. It floats, silent as a drifting log, seeming barely to exist, while, in reality, it is tracking every movement upon the water's surface. Across the crocodile's body, there are approximately 9,000 microscopic sensory organs known as integumentary sensory organs, or ISOs. They are more sensitive than the tips of a human finger. A single hoof, barely brushing the water's surface, is enough to trigger a death sentence. And when the strike comes, nothing can resist it. The crocodile cannot chew. Its teeth are conical, and its jaws move only up and down. And so it employs the death roll, clamping down on its prey and spinning violently, simultaneously tearing flesh and drowning the victim. And it can wait for a very, very long time. A crocodile can survive up to 2 years without a single meal. Time is never a problem for this creature. The waterhole, therefore, becomes a ruthless genetic filter. The slow, the weak, the careless, they remain beneath the surface forever. Only the quickest and most vigilant pass through. The crocodile does not merely hunt. It decides who deserves to go on living. But the deadliest weapon on this entire savannah does not belong to the largest, the strongest, or the most ferocious creature. It belongs to an animal that even lions step aside for. But there is a truth more brutal than any hunt we have just witnessed. Many of the warriors of this savannah are quietly disappearing not because of each other, but because of an altogether different force. The democratic pack of wild dogs, the most efficient hunters on the continent, now number fewer than 6,600. "93% of their range has been lost. The African elephant, a species known to mourn its dead numbers, only an estimated 415,000. And every 15 minutes, another one falls for the sake of its tusks. As for the black mamba, it is killed simply out of fear. Humans destroy it on sight. But the mamba controls rodent populations. It is the silent guardian of the very crops that sustain human livelihoods. Killing the creature you fear does not make you safer. It only robs you of the protector you never knew you had. Every weapon on this savannah took millions of years to forge. The lioness's chokehold, the kudu's spiraling horns, the mamba's venom. All of them masterpieces sculpted by time. Yet a human needs only a single bullet, a single hoe, or a single blind fear to destroy what evolution spent millions of years perfecting. When the sun rises once more above the savannah, everything continues as it has continued for millions of years. The lioness still crouches low in the grass beneath the searing heat. The kudu still freezes when a predator's shadow passes. The wild dogs still sneeze their vote before every hunt. The hippo still gapes its jaws to 150 degrees when a stranger enters its territory. And the black mamba still glides silently through the grass, praying that no one sees it. Three fronts. Three kinds of war. One eternal battlefield. And the question we began with: who truly rules? Hunter or prey? Perhaps the answer is neither. For on the African savannah, no one wins forever. Only those who survive today earn the right to fight again tomorrow. That is the only victory this land has ever known. Thank you for staying with us to the very end of this journey. The battlefield of the savannah is still out there, and countless battles remain untold. And you, from whose side have you been watching this war? The hunters or the preys? Leave your answer in the comments below, and we shall meet again on the next expedition. Dawn has barely grazed the tops of the acacias on the savannah, but beneath the deepening amber sky, the hunt has already begun. In the tall grass to the west, golden shadows drift forward without a sound. The lionesses are not as powerful as the males. But they are more patient, more coordinated, and they understand a truth that governs life on the savannah. Patience decides the line between feast and famine. Their teamwork is flawless. One lioness drops low, belly pressed flat against the earth, watching, waiting. Another faints wide, just enough to draw one of the calves into a moment of careless curiosity. The lead lioness explodes from the tall grass. What follows is a few seconds of pure chaos. Dust erupts, roars shatter the stillness. Before the hunt began, someone had been watching all along. On tree branches, several hundred feet away, a nocturnal fortress beyond any lion's reach, a troop of baboons has been awake for some time. Their eyes scan the savannah from above. The alpha male, over 80 pounds of rippling muscle, stands atop the highest rocky outcrop. His canines measure 2 inches, rivaling those of a mountain lion. Yet fangs are not his most formidable weapon. His intellect is the true marvel. Facial recognition, political alliances, social strategies, so sophisticated that scientists call them Machiavellian baboons, possess intelligence comparable to a 3-year-old human child. A piercing bark shatters the dawn, an alarm call reserved exclusively for lions. Baboons have distinct alarm calls for leopards, another for eagles, another for snakes, each predator a unique frequency. The entire savannah listens. Antelope stop grazing, ostriches lift their heads, zebras swivel their ears. A cascade effect, a single cry triggers thousands of survival reflexes rippling across the grasslands. When baboons sound the alarm, no creature on the plain dares ignore it. But today, the warning comes too late for the oryx herd to the west. They have already fallen beneath lion claws. Several hundred feet away, a flock of African ostriches feeds alongside a different antelope herd, this group considerably safer. The proximity between these two species is no accident. This is a sensory alliance, an unspoken pact honed by evolution across millions of years. The ostrich possesses eyes 2 inches in diameter, larger, remarkably, than its own brain. The largest eyes of any land animal on Earth, a Guinness World Record. From a vantage point of nearly 9 feet, the ostrich serves as the savanna's mobile watchtower. Each eye boasts 5 times the acuity of a human, scanning every flicker of movement across the vast grassland. But eyes, larger than a brain, they see everything, yet comprehend very little. Ostriches detect motion but cannot analyze the nature of the threat. At top speed, nearing 45 miles per hour, the fastest creature on 2 legs, with strides spanning 10 to 16 feet yet running, remains the absolute last resort. Together, they form a surveillance network through which no frequency, no movement can slip undetected. And the myth everyone still believes: ostriches do not bury their heads in sand. It is the oldest fabrication in all of natural history. They lower their heads to the ground to reduce their profile or to turn eggs within the nest. But the sounds that mark sovereignty also serve as invitations to challengers. A howl echoes from the distance. Then that spine-chilling laughter, a sound no one hears once without remembering forever. A grinding, rising shriek. A clan of spotted hyenas converging from every direction. The clan is led by the largest female, an absolute matriarchal society. Here is something most people get wrong. Spotted hyenas are not scavengers. They hunt 60 to 95% of their own food, the most efficient endurance predators in all of Africa. And here is the more astonishing truth: it is the lions who routinely steal from hyenas, not the other way around. Data from the Ngorongoro Hyena Project, decades of observation, confirms this. But today, the hyenas want to reclaim what is theirs. They encircle a male lion feeding on a carcass. The male lion rises. Over 400 pounds of sheer physical dominance towers above them. Hyenas understand one survival rule: never confront a healthy male lion head-on, regardless of numbers. Their strategy is harassment and patience. The hyenas swarm in within seconds, jaws crushing bone, stripping the remains clean in minutes. On the savannah, nothing goes to waste. Patience has defeated raw power, at least for today. The hyenas finish feeding, bones lie crushed. The savannah falls silent once more, but the ground beneath does not. A tremor radiates through the earth at a frequency below the threshold of human hearing. Not an earthquake, not thunder. It is the call of the African elephant. The herd crosses the grassland each footfall, pressing over 13,000 pounds into the soil, generating seismic waves that travel more than 10 miles through the earth. Elephant feet receive these vibrations, seismic communication, a language that humans took decades to discover. Leading the herd is the oldest female, the matriarch, the living memory of the entire family. Like hyenas, elephant society is strictly matriarchal. But unlike hyenas, power here derives not from fangs or claws, but from memory. The matriarch remembers every water source, every migration path, every drought stretching back 60 years. In years of devastating drought, the entire herd's survival depends on the memory of a single individual. And the trunk, perhaps the most wondrous organ evolution has ever produced, contains over 40,000 muscle bundles within a single structure. The entire human body possesses just 640 muscles. The elephant herd passes, and the savannah transforms in the most literal sense. They topple trees, carve pathways, dig water wells upon which dozens of other species depend. Ecosystem engineers, Africa's greatest architects. No living creature dares block their path, not even the lion. On the savannah, every dawn is a new battle. Every creature simultaneously weapon and target, hunter and hunted. But there exists a far greater arena of conflict where warfare has raged for millions of years, beneath waves that blanket a third of this planet. That arena is the Pacific Ocean. More than 63 million square miles, larger than all the world's land masses combined, 10 times the size of Russia. One-third of Earth's surface covered by a single ocean, and humanity has explored less than 5% of it. "25,000 islands scattered across its waters, more than any other ocean. 75% of the planet's active volcanoes line its ring of fire. And at its deepest point, Challenger Deep, nearly 36,000 feet beneath the surface sunlight, has never reached. If Mount Everest were placed at the bottom, its summit would still lie submerged by more than a mile. Silver sardines flash into living clouds, spiraling in synchronized motion. Albatrosses glide on the wind for 1,000 miles without a single wing beat. Blue whales, the largest creatures ever to exist, drift through the dark water like phantoms. Its name means peaceful, yet nothing here knows peace. Every coral reef is a fortress. Every stretch of open water is a battlefield. and every abyss is a realm where light itself dares not enter. Just a few feet beneath the surface, a world both dazzling and merciless unfolds. The coral reef, an underwater city where thousands of species battle for every inch of territory. The clownfish, 4 inches long, vivid orange with 3 white bars edged in black, swims among the lethal tentacles of an anemone. A fish everyone knows by name, yet few understand its true nature. Those tentacles can paralyze any creature on contact. Thousands of cnidocyte cells firing toxin in a thousandth of a second. Yet the clownfish is cloaked in a specialized mucus, a chemical armor bestowed by evolution across millions of years. This is perfect symbiosis. The clownfish gains protection within a toxic fortress. The anemone gains a cleaner of parasites and scraps of fallen food. Neither can survive without the other. But within this fortress, an iron hierarchy prevails. Clownfish live under an absolute size-based dominance system. The largest female rules, the largest male ranks second. The rest ranked by every fraction of an inch, larger by even half an inch, and one rises above, smaller, and one falls below. And here is nature's closely guarded secret: every clownfish is born male. All of them, without exception. When the sole female dies, the largest male transforms, becoming female within weeks. Protandrous hermaphrodite. The process is irreversible. The kingdom must never be left without its queen. But make no mistake, the most docile-looking fish on this reef is also a killer of its own kind, without hesitation. Any unfamiliar clownfish that intrudes upon the territory is bitten, chased, and if it does not leave, killed. 4 inches long, yet defending its realm at any cost. A predator glides past its shadow, falling across the coral. The clownfish detects it first. The clownfish vanish into the anemone's tentacles in an instant. Stinging filaments deploy like a wall of fire. The attacker veers away. The fortress holds, as it has held for millions of years. A few feet from the anemone fortress, a small blue fish patrols its territory with a determination that rivals any warrior. The blue tang, roughly 12 inches long, with two scalpel-sharp spines concealed at the base of its tail. Normally, these blades lie folded within grooves in the skin, but when threatened, those surgical edges spring outward, capable of inflicting wounds painful enough to make most predators retreat. Yet the blue tang's greatest role is not combat, it is gardening. They control the algae that encrust the coral, keeping the reef able to breathe. Without blue tangs, algae would suffocate the coral, and the entire submerged city would perish. A gardener armed with scalpels, warrior and farmer inhabiting the same body. But something is approaching the reef that no one has detected. No shadow, no sound, nothing at all until it is far too late. The giant Pacific octopus averaging 30 to over 100 pounds. The record exceeding 600 pounds with an arm span nearing 30 feet, moves across the ocean floor. Millions of chromatophore pigment cells in its skin shift color in under 0.2 of a second. Not a few seconds, 0.2 of a second. Faster than the blink of an eye. Accompanied by iridophores producing iridescent hues and papillae, altering skin texture, transforming smooth flesh into the rough grain of stone. Boneless, save for a single keratinous beak, the body can squeeze through any gap just a few inches wide. Camouflage so perfect that no military technology can rival it. The octopus mimics rock, motionless, flawless. Even a fish, swimming mere inches away, fails to detect it. The coral reef is measured in inches territory, contested by fractions of an inch. But in the open ocean, the battlefield spans thousands of miles, and the apex predators are the size of a bus. "20 feet long, over 2 tons. Roughly 300 teeth arranged in 5 to 6 rows, each tooth over 2 inches long, and when one breaks, a replacement rises to take its place, for life. The great white shark, the ocean's most consummate ambush predator, 300 million years of evolution have honed it into a flawless hunting machine. Older than the dinosaurs, older even than trees, and virtually unchanged across all that time. Its senses form a multi-layered radar system that no human technology can match. Vision spanning nearly 360 degrees, with only 2 small blind spots just ahead of the snout and behind the skull. The lateral line detecting every vibration and pressure change in the water from hundreds of feet away. And the most covert weapon of all, the ampullae of Lorenzini. Hundreds of tiny pores across the snout, detecting the bioelectric fields of every living organism, detecting a single drop of blood in dozens of gallons of water. A heartbeat, a muscle contraction, a nerve impulse. The shark perceives it all. Nothing escapes this biological radar. Farther offshore, the sea surface erupts as hundreds of sleek silver-grey bodies rocket skyward, then crash back down. Common dolphins over 8 feet long, 150 to over 400 pounds, travel in pods ranging from dozens to thousands. Megapods, a phenomenon found only in the Pacific. This is no chaotic swarm. This is an army with commanders, formations, and tactics. Each dolphin possesses a personal name, a signature whistle, a sound unique to that individual and no other in the entire ocean. They call each other by name, remembering the names of companions across decades. Social memory surpassing that of most mammals. Clicks for echolocation, natural sonar painting, a three-dimensional map of the ocean, whistles for communication, moans for emotion. 3 acoustic systems operating simultaneously, like 3 radio channels on a single frequency. When a sardine shoal is detected, the army shifts into attack mode. Formations change in an instant. Encirclement, driving the prey into a bait ball, a shimmering silver sphere spinning amid the open ocean. Tail slaps stunning clusters of fish into unconsciousness. Then, feeding in rotation, each dolphin taking its turn through the bait ball, ensuring every member receives a share. Intelligence saves lives, coordination keeps the pod alive, sharing keeps the pod united. But even the ocean's most intelligent army cannot overcome what is now ascending from below, a dark shape, larger than anything they have ever faced. In the open ocean, cooperation saves the pod. But beneath the abyss, where light extinguishes entirely, solitude is the only companion. The sperm whale, the largest toothed predator on Earth, each tooth weighs up to 1 pound, with 18 to 26 teeth lining each side of the lower jaw. Over 50 tons, over 50 feet. The head occupying a full third of the body's length, housing the spermaceti organ, a biological apparatus that generates the loudest sound in the animal kingdom. "236 decibels, the sperm whale's click is more powerful than a fighter jet at takeoff. Sufficient to stun prey and map the ocean through total darkness using sound alone. Holding its breath for 90 minutes, diving beyond 7,000 feet deeper than any other mammal, then returning to the surface, sleeping vertically, perfectly still, just below the waterline. "10 to 15 minutes per nap. Only 7% of its lifetime devoted to sleep, the least of any mammal ever recorded." But the most remarkable story of the sperm whale lies not in its power, it lies in maternal devotion. Female pods form matriarchal groups, 6 to 12 individuals in tropical waters, bonds lasting a lifetime, gestation spanning 14 to 16 months longer than any marine species. The males are a different story. They depart the pod between 6 and 10 years of age, swimming thousands of miles toward the poles, alone, silent, decades in solitude. They return to tropical waters only when fully mature, and male sperm whales do not reach maturity until 25, sometimes 50 years of age. A long life, but most of it spent alone. Extreme dimorphism. Males exceed 50 tons, females around 15, more than 3 times the difference. When the males return, they are giants among the pod. An enormous blue shape glides beneath the surface, slow, majestic, as though the ocean itself were drawing breath. The blue whale, the largest creature ever to exist on this planet, surpassing every dinosaur, exceeding everything evolution has produced in 4 billion years of life. Lengths exceeding 90 feet, weight surpassing 300,000 pounds. The tongue alone weighs as much as an adult elephant. The aorta is wide enough for a small child to crawl through. The heart, the size of a golf cart, beats just twice per minute during deep dives. Each beat pumps over 53 gallons of blood. Its heartbeat can be detected from 2 miles away. Their call, 188 decibels, the loudest sound produced by any animal on Earth. Louder than a jet engine. So low in frequency that the human ear cannot perceive it, yet the sound travels across entire oceans from one shore of the Pacific to the other. Before humans flooded the seas with the noise of shipping, 2 blue whales could converse across a distance of more than 1,000 miles. There were once more than 350,000. Industrial whaling in the 20th century slaughtered nearly 99% of them. Fewer than 25,000 remain across all the world's oceans. But even the most magnificent creature is not invincible. An orcapod has assembled a superpod surrounding the whale, taking turns pursuing, biting fins, biting flukes, then swimming atop its back to force the blowhole beneath the surface. The attack documented at Bremer Bay, Western Australia, published in the journal Marine Mammal Science in 2022, confirmed that orcas can bring down even a healthy adult blue whale. The largest creature of all time drowned by its own distant relatives. After the battle, the ocean falls silent. Blood dissolves into the water. Waves erase every trace, as though nothing had occurred. But tranquility is an illusion. The next battle has already begun somewhere across more than 63 million square miles of ocean. The Pacific Ocean, an arena of biodiversity without parallel. Hundreds of thousands of invertebrate species. Roughly 80 species of marine mammals. And countless species that science has yet to name. Across savanna and beneath ocean, every creature has fought for millions of years to endure. They survived ice ages, century-long droughts, and predators that evolved faster than they could adapt. Beneath the baobab canopy, the lion has just passed. Another towering presence emerges slowly. The African elephant. The largest land mammal on Earth, and a symbol of intelligence across the boundless savanna. Its enormous ears carry a shape reminiscent of the African continent, an extraordinarily sophisticated natural cooling system. Blood flowing through the dense network of vessels in the ears is cooled as the elephant fans them continuously. This biological mechanism efficiently lowers body temperature under punishing heat. Yet the trunk remains the most versatile and vital appendage. "17 primary muscle groups, comprising roughly 150,000 individual muscle fascicles, are employed to drink, spray mud, and snap large branches. It can pick up a single bean or lift objects weighing up to 600 pounds with equal precision. Elephants possess superior intelligence and extraordinary memory. They retain mental maps of water sources spanning decades. The emotional depth of these animals is so profound that when one dies, the herd pauses to touch the remains of the departed with their trunks in a quiet ceremony of mourning. The most remarkable story is told through the resurrection at Zakuma National Park in Chad. In the early 2000s, poaching drove the local elephant population to the brink of extinction, reducing their numbers by more than 90%. But from 2010, African parks and the Chadian government rebuilt the herd with a modern conservation strategy. Satellite collars and a dedicated ranger force helped monitor and eliminate poaching entirely. Today, the elephant population at Zakuma has surpassed 600, a testament to the power of conservation resolve. Alongside that towering form, another slender silhouette rises proudly against the horizon. The giraffe, the tallest animal on Earth and the embodiment of wild elegance. Each individual bears a unique coat pattern, functioning as a fingerprint for identification. To pump blood to a brain perched 16 to 20 feet above the ground, giraffes possess an extraordinarily powerful heart. Weighing approximately 25 pounds, it generates blood pressure roughly double that of a human, enough to conquer gravity. A specialized valve system in the neck prevents blood from rushing back, which would rupture vessels every time the animal lowers its head to drink. Bird food is acacia, leaves a tree armed with long, sharp thorns. A tongue stretching up to 20 inches, with its characteristic dark blue hue, has evolved to navigate this challenge. That coloring is rich in melanin, protecting the tongue from sunburn during prolonged outdoor feeding. In the Kalahari, the San people perform the giraffe dance, a healing ritual and prayer for prosperity. They believe the giraffe channels supernatural energy from the sky. Yet, if Africa is the heart from the dawn of time, then across the Mediterranean, an ancient continent is surging back to life with staggering force. Where the Carpathian Mountains stand sentinel, the domain of a legendary hunter reveals itself. The grey wolf reigns with its resonant howl echoing through ancient forests. This wolf species is renowned for a pack structure that is remarkably tight-knit and sophisticated. Each member assumes a distinct role under the guidance of the lead pair. They govern with experience and determination to safeguard the survival of the entire family. From the legend of Rome's founder, nursed by a she-wolf, to the frozen, moonlit nights of Eastern Europe, the wolf has always symbolized unwavering loyalty to the pack. In temperate forests, the grey wolf is a master of coordinated hunting tactics. They rely on far more than muscular strength. A pack can pursue a target with tireless persistence over a distance exceeding 12 miles. The wolf's dentition delivers a bite force of approximately 400 psi, sufficient to crush the bones of the largest prey with ease. In early 2026, the European Commission recorded a stable recovery of the continent's wolf population, exceeding 20,000 individuals. The Life Wolf Alps project supports herders in using traditional livestock guardian dog breeds. The image of the grey wolf beneath moonlight will endure forever as the emblem of courage and the tenacious wild spirit of Europe. Within those same ancient forests, a solitary and even more imposing figure holds dominion. The brown bear, the quiet sovereign of the dense woodlands. It plays a pivotal role in the temperate ecosystem as a keystone species. With colossal muscle mass across its shoulders and long claws, the brown bear is a masterful excavator. Its diet is remarkably varied, for it is an extraordinarily versatile omnivore. Yet the most striking feature is its deep winter dormancy. When wild berries and prey grow scarce, the brown bear opts to suspend all activity. Its metabolic rate drops to the barest minimum. The heart rate can fall from 40 beats per minute to roughly 8. The body consumes fat reserves accumulated through summer and autumn to maintain only the most essential function. In the Carpathians, particularly in Romania, bear populations have reached record levels. However, expanding human settlements have led to increasingly complex interactions. Mother bears are fiercely devoted, protecting and teaching their cubs throughout the first 2 years of life. The image of the brown bear sleeping through winter and awakening in spring is a symbol of patience and the power of renewal. In the sun-drenched Mediterranean, a diminutive legend is gradually returning from the ashes. The Iberian lynx, the rarest wild cat on Earth. They can be found only on the Iberian Peninsula, spanning Spain and Portugal. Their identifying features are unmistakable. The Iberian lynx sports a thick ruff of fur, framing its face like a luminous mane of whiskers. This structure helps the lynx pinpoint prey amid dense scrubland. They specialize in hunting the European rabbit, a food source that constitutes up to 90% of their diet. Across the same venerable continent, in the pages of ancient tales, the red fox has always appeared as a figure of cunning wit in the fables of Aesop. The red fox possesses an extraordinary capacity for adaptation. It thrives from dense coniferous forests to bustling modern metropolises like London and Berlin. Recent research data reveals a fascinating trend. Red foxes living in certain European cities are undergoing subtle changes in skull structure, optimizing their foraging ability in artificial environments. This creature continues to glide silently through gardens and parks, carrying the soul of ancient stories into the rhythm of modern life. Amid that bustle, the frozen north bears the title of Europe's last true wilderness. This is the homeland of Father Christmas, where snow blankets the taiga forests of Scandinavia. Beneath the luminous aurora borealis, the reindeer emerges as a biological marvel of the Arctic. They undertake immense migrations across the tundra, covering distances approaching 2,000 miles each year, among the longest terrestrial journeys in the animal kingdom. The most distinctive feature is the antler set. This is the only species in the deer family in which both males and females bear antlers. Yet the timing of antler shedding differs to serve survival. Males lose their antlers after the mating season in early winter. Females retain theirs until spring, when they give birth. This mechanism allows the female to defend feeding areas against larger males. The hooves are a masterwork of engineering. In summer, the hoof pad is soft for grip on soggy taiga ground. When winter arrives, The pad contracts to expose sharp edges, and the hooves expand to distribute weight like true snowshoes. Yet the most wondrous adaptation of all reindeer can change their eye color with the seasons. In summer, the tapetum lucidum reflects a golden glow beneath the midnight sun. As the polar night descends, this layer shifts to deep blue. The change heightens sensitivity to blue light and ultraviolet radiation, enabling them to detect threats in near total darkness. However, climate change is creating new challenges. Rain-on-snow events are increasing rainwater freezes atop snow to form a rigid ice layer, preventing reindeer from digging through to the lichen beneath. The role of the Sami people in Lapland has never been more critical. They manage their herds using the traditional cedar system, coupled with modern satellite positioning technology to guide animals to safe grazing areas. If you find the wonders of the natural world as fascinating as we do, share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you cast your gaze toward the sheer cliffs along the North Atlantic coast, you will encounter the Atlantic puffin. This bird carries the nickname the clown of the ocean. That name originates from its triangular beak, ablaze with vivid color during the breeding season, a masterpiece of adaptive design. Those radiant colors help attract mates and establish rank within the colony. When the breeding season ends, the colorful outer plates shed away, revealing a smaller beak in a muted gray tone. The Atlantic puffin can dive to depths of 200 feet below the surface to pursue prey. Its wings function as powerful oars underwater. The tongue and palate are lined with small, backward-facing spines which grip captured fish securely while the bird opens its beak to catch more. They excavate deep burrows in coastal cliffs to lay eggs and rear their chicks. In Iceland and Norway, the puffin is a symbol of resilience and optimism. Even when confronting savage maritime storms, they maintain an unyielding spirit. Across the ocean, South America unveils a biological wonderland drenched in color. From the abundance of the Amazon rainforest to the snow-capped peaks of the Andes, the ecosystem here is a web of life staggering in its complexity. And upon those cloud-piercing summits, the sky belongs to the Andean condor. This is the heaviest flying bird on Earth when body size and weight are considered together. With a wingspan exceeding 10 feet, they are supreme masters of soaring flight. The Andean condor can sustain its aerial journey for hours without a single wing beat. In the Inca worldview, the condor is the embodiment of the sky god Hanan Pacha. Andean communities believe this sacred bird carries the souls of the departed to paradise. Descending from those celestial heights, the journey plunges into the heart of the rainforest, where a creature the Maya called Balam, spirit of darkness, awaits. The jaguar, the tireless traveler between light and shadow, between life and the realm beyond. The Maya believed that only the jaguar possessed the strength and wisdom to penetrate the dense forest canopy and enter the world of the ancestors. The jaguar's evolutionary journey is an epic tale of migration. The genus Panthera did not originate in the Americas. Its ancestors set out from Asia roughly 2 million years ago, crossing the Bering Land Bridge. Upon reaching this new world, the jaguar confronted an unfamiliar ecosystem teeming with hard-shelled creatures such as ancestral tortoises, giant constrictors, and caiman. It was precisely that survival pressure that drove the evolution of a skull structure unique among the world's felids. Many confuse the jaguar with the African leopard because of similar spotted markings. However, the jaguar belongs to the subfamily Pantherinae and shares a closer kinship with the lion. Its most formidable weapon is bite force, the strongest among all big cats relative to body size. Pressure can reach nearly 7,000 newtons at the carnassial teeth. A short, broad skull optimizes the leverage of powerful jaw muscles. Rather than targeting the throat, the jaguar strikes directly at the temporal bone, piercing the skull of prey or the thick shell of a tortoise with devastating ease. Unlike most cats that avoid water, the jaguar embraces the aquatic environment. They are gifted swimmers, capable of crossing rivers more than half a mile wide in search of food. And the capybara, the largest rodent on Earth, is among the jaguar's most frequent targets. Yet, in the absence of predators, this creature wears an entirely different face. They are beloved as the peace ambassadors of the animal kingdom, thanks to their supremely gentle and sociable temperament. Weighing between 77 and 146 pounds, capybaras inhabit wetlands and riverbanks. Their partially webbed feet enable swift swimming and deep dives when danger threatens. They live in large groups, communicating through barks, whistles, and low murmurs. Capybaras even permit other species, from birds to monkeys, to perch upon their backs. That image has captivated millions of nature lovers around the world. Children and young people everywhere adore their carefree personality through viral moments of interspecies harmony. A curious historical detail: in the 17th century, the Catholic Church classified the capybara as a fish due to its aquatic lifestyle. In Venezuela, it remains a permitted food during Lent to this day. With its unmistakable appearance, the Toko toucan is the most radiant representative of the tropical rainforest. Despite its seemingly heavy bill, the beak is remarkably light. The secret lies in its spongy internal structure, encased in a thin layer of keratin, an architecture that mirrors aerospace engineering. The beak also serves a critical survival function: thermoregulation. The toucan voluntarily adjusts blood flow through its bill to release heat when ambient temperature rises. This is a superb adaptation to the hot and humid Amazon climate. The beak operates on the same principle as an elephant's ears, but on the body of a bird. In Lakota culture, the bison is the incarnation of Wakan Tanka, the Great Spirit. Their ancestors drew lessons of courage from this animal. The American bison is the largest land mammal in North America. An adult bull can weigh up to 2,000 pounds and stand over 6 feet tall at the shoulder. A massive muscular hump across the shoulders provides the force for its head to sweep aside thick layers of snow, a vital foraging strategy during winter. Its thick, dense brown coat serves as armor, enabling it to endure temperatures plunging to -22 degrees Fahrenheit. In summer, they migrate to high valleys above 8,000 feet in the Rocky Mountains, seeking young, nutrient-rich pastures. That body allowed them to survive for millennia. Yet they were nearly obliterated entirely by the slaughter of the late 19th century. It was the persistent effort of native peoples that changed the fate of this sacred animal. Samuel Walking Coyote rescued the last orphaned calves to preserve the bloodline. Later, the founding of the Intertribal Buffalo Council affirmed the leadership of native peoples in genetic conservation and the return of bison to ancestral lands. The recovery of the bison is both a biological victory and a potent spiritual rebirth. When the rhythmic thunder of hooves returns to the grasslands, sacred ceremonies such as the sun dance are also awakened with their original vitality. Bringing the bison home means healing historical wounds and restoring sustainable food sovereignty for indigenous nations. Meanwhile, for certain tribes of the Rocky Mountain region, the puma is the true guardian of sacred borders. They call this animal the ghost of the mountains, for its presence is silent yet filled with authority. This is the big cat with the broadest range on the continent, stretching from Canada to the southern reaches of South America. The puma possesses a body perfectly engineered for a solitary hunting life. Its long, powerful hind legs allow it to leap up to 18 feet in a single bound. It also reaches a top speed of roughly 50 miles per hour over short distances. However, it cannot roar like a lion or tiger because its hyoid bone is fully ossified. Instead, that rigid structure helps it produce high-frequency sounds, whistles, or calls resembling bird song. These sounds propagate more efficiently through complex terrain without betraying the hunter's position. In Navajo culture, the puma bears the name Nash-Doitso, the guardian deity of borders and a symbol of self-mastery. They believe the greatest power does not reside in the roar, it resides in silence and the capacity for absolute control. Descending from the peaks where the puma hides, the journey enters the dense valleys and river systems of Alaska. This is the kingdom of the grizzly bear, the emblem of raw power in the far north. Do not let its bulk deceive the senses. An adult grizzly weighing nearly 900 pounds can sprint at 35 miles per hour. They are also masterful salmon hunters. Summer is the period of maximum energy accumulation. This giant consumes tens of thousands of calories each day from wild berries and animal protein. After building a thick layer of fat, they enter deep winter dormancy. The heart rate drops sharply to conserve energy, a wondrous mechanism of survival. For the Haida and Tlingit peoples, the grizzly is regarded as a creature of high intelligence with a direct connection to the soul of the continent. Shamans invoke the bear's image in ceremonies to commune with Mother Earth. While the grizzly commands the valleys below, the sky registers the silhouette of yet another sovereign. The bald eagle. Beyond its role as the national symbol of the United States, this bird is honored as the messenger of the sky. Indigenous peoples believe the eagle carries their prayers to the Creator. The eagle feather is the most sacred object in ceremonies of empowerment. To present someone with an eagle feather is the noblest ritual of honoring courage. The single most important feature keeping the bald eagle at the apex of the predatory hierarchy is its eyes. It can detect a swimming fish from a distance exceeding 1 mile while soaring high above. Its wingspan reaches up to 7.5 feet, generating immense lift. A set of razor-sharp talons delivers a crushing grip, the ultimate survival weapon for seizing slippery prey such as salmon. Its nest is known as an eyrie, the largest tree-borne nest structure in the avian world. A typical eyrie can weigh nearly 1 ton. A mated pair of bald eagles typically maintains a lifelong bond of fidelity. They return to the same nest year after year, adding material to their shared home. From the eagle's wings, gazing down upon the entire planet, 6 worlds emerge as one seamless canvas. In Europe, the red deer, among the largest deer species on Earth, embodies enduring, majestic beauty. Males possess enormous antlers capable of growing nearly 1 inch per day during the peak spring period. During the mating season, their resonant bellowing through the morning mist is the signature sound of autumn across Europe. Antler clashes demand stamina and pinpoint tactical precision. Today, scientists are deploying intelligent wildlife crossing systems. enabling deer to move safely across busy traffic corridors in Eastern Europe. Each continent carries its own conservation legacy, from the lion guardians of Africa and the life wolf Alps of Europe to the intertribal Buffalo Council of North America. Animals serve as living shields, protecting the cultural identity of indigenous peoples against the tides of change. Six worlds, 18 symbols. One reminder to look at them is to glimpse the most primal essence of what it means to be human. That roar never ceases. It merely changes continents. Thank you for joining Nature's Moments. The natural world still holds countless untold stories. We will see you on the next journey. In this challenging ecosystem, the baboon stands out as one of the most resourceful and adaptable residents. These primates live in large family groups known as troops. Each member has a role. Dominant males maintain order and protect the group. These social ties are not only emotional but also tactical, providing protection. Baboons communicate in a remarkably complex way through a variety of vocalizations. These animals are highly opportunistic natural omnivores. They feed on fruits, seeds, roots, and small animals. With their nimble fingers and watchful eyes, they scour the ground, lifting branches. This combination of intelligence, cooperation, and constant vigilance makes baboons natural survivors. In the delta, baboons move skillfully between the riverine forests and the open plains. They are, in essence, a reflection of the delta itself. Unpredictable, resilient, intense. And it is not only the large terrestrial animals that benefit from the flood. In the mythology of the Khoisan people, baboons were once a tribe of humans. But for their laziness, their love of noisy gossip and theft, they were punished by the gods. A hoe was transformed into a tail, fused to the spine, forcing them to walk on all fours. The humble posture of the baboon is an eternal warning against the consequences of indolence. Today, on the savannah, myth has given way to harsh reality, and the brain is their ultimate weapon of survival. Baboons are masters of strategy, diplomacy, and alliance. Their lives are woven from complex relationships, silent pacts, and unending confrontations. To survive, they have formed one of the most effective defensive coalitions on the plains. Action stems not from altruism, but from cold calculation. On the vast savannah, the baboon and the impala form a perfect defensive alliance. The impala's hearing and sense of smell are far superior. It can detect the scent of a predator from a great distance. Meanwhile, the baboon, with its elevated position and sharp vision, can survey any movement on the horizon. Together, they form a dual radar system with no blind spots. Against such a mixed group, a leopard's success rate falls below 20%. It is in this role as sentinel that a fateful confrontation unfolds. Their greatest nightmare, Africa's most successful solitary predator, is concealed in the bush, the leopard. Its weapon is not fang or claw, but the art of absolute camouflage. A coat of rosettes breaks up the body's outline, allowing it to merge with its surroundings. It approaches its prey without making a sound. but the leopard commands only the space before it, having neglected the sky above. On a nearby acacia branch, a baboon has been watching for some time. With trichromatic vision, like that of a human, it clearly distinguishes every movement in the landscape. The leopard's camouflage is rendered useless before these discerning eyes. A short, dry bark shatters the silence. It is the highest level of alarm. The impala does not think. It reacts on pure instinct. It leaps into the air, performing a stot of nearly 10 feet before vanishing into the thicket. The hunt is over before the leopard has even begun. Fury rises in the heart of the predator. While the baboon troop cheers in exhilaration, leaping triumphantly in the high branches, below, the leopard retreats with an empty stomach. The hunter needs a new target on which to vent its rage: the warthog. One should not be deceived by its ungainly appearance. The warthog is a light armored tank, capable of reaching speeds of 30 miles per hour. It possesses 2 pairs of curved razor-sharp tusks, honed continuously every time it opens its mouth. When threatened, the warthog backs into its burrow, pointing its tusks outward like a deadly fence. The burrow's entrance becomes an impregnable fortress. The leopard's only chance is to strike while the warthog is still in retreat. The warthog's vision is poor. It relies mainly on its sense of smell. The leopard launches like a golden arrow. The hunger remains, and the image of the baboon still haunts the leopard's mind. It is time to settle the score. Dusk descends, and darkness envelops the savannah. The fading light takes with it the confidence of diurnal creatures like the baboon. But for the leopard, this is when the true performance begins. The 50-foot-high canopy is no longer a safe refuge. Behind the leopard's retina lies a secret weapon, the tapetum lucidum. This biological structure acts like a living mirror, reflecting light back through the retina. As a result, the leopard's eyes gather light 7 times more effectively than human eyes. The moment the leopard sets foot on the main branch, chaos erupts. There is no defensive formation, no alarm call, no resistance. The baboons are in a state of panic. No one sees the enemy. No one knows where it came from. The leopard glides through the turmoil with a terrifying calm. It targets the largest prize, the most powerful male baboon. Its steel-like jaws clamp down on the prey's skull. When the sun returns, the balance of power instantly shifts. The baboons regain their trichromatic vision and, more importantly, the confidence of their numbers. The trauma of the previous night quickly transforms into collective fury. More than 50 baboons forge a menacing semicircular cordon. Theirs is not an attack of bites, but a campaign of psychological warfare. The leopard, a solitary predator, is suddenly dwarfed by this hostile assembly. It knows that a single wound could spell the end of its life as a hunter. This overwhelming imbalance of power forces a retreat. The shrieking baboons give chase, their intent not to kill, but to disgrace. This is their most satisfying retribution. The victory over the leopard is like a shot of adrenaline injected into the entire troop. A wave of euphoria spreads, driving them to challenge the very throne of the savannah. Their target is the lion, the apex of the food chain. They are not so foolish as to attack a 290-pound adult lioness. But to eliminate a future king, that is the ultimate survival strategy. When hunger compels the lioness to hunt, her cubs are left hidden in the thicket. At only 3 weeks old and weighing less than 11 pounds, they rely completely on their ability to remain unseen. Their spotted coats provide camouflage in the dappled light. This disguise might deceive a hyena, but for the baboons, the sentinels from above, it is no defense. Having spotted their target, the troop approaches with a clear strategy: to seize the young. In mere seconds, the lion cub is torn from its hiding place and dragged away in the confusion. By the time the lioness returns, it is too late. The thicket that once sheltered her young is now empty and cold. Her roar echoes, filled with agony and fury. But the baboons are already in the high branches, far beyond the reach of her claws. Today, they have struck a fatal blow to the king's empire. The pain of losing a child cannot fill a stomach roaring with hunger. On the contrary, hatred consumes energy faster than any metabolic process. To exact her revenge, the lioness needs fuel. Her target is the blue wildebeest, the nomads of the savannah. A fully grown male can weigh up to 550 pounds, a mobile fortress of muscle with a pair of scythe-like horns. The lioness knows her own biological limits. With a heart that is small in proportion to her body, she cannot sustain a long chase. She must get within the kill zone, a range of about 100 feet. An opportunity arises when a wildebeest strays from the herd. The lioness coils every muscle, then springs like an arrow. The impact is like a motorcycle hitting a brick wall. It thrashes violently, escaping into the chaos of the herd. The lioness watches, helpless, as her quarry disappears among hundreds of its kind. Defeated by the wall of horns, the lioness must change her target. She turns her attention to the noisy neighbors who always travel with the wildebeest, the plains zebra. On the savannah, wildebeest and zebra coexist in a perfect nutritional balance. The zebra graze first, consuming the tougher, older grasses. In doing so, they clear the way for the wildebeest to reach the tender green shoots beneath. But for a lion, a herd of zebra presents a complex visual puzzle. When the herd moves in a panic, thousands of stripes merge into a bewildering optical illusion. With her monochromatic vision, the lioness cannot distinguish one individual from another. But this time, the lioness has no other option. Hunger has sharpened her senses to their absolute peak. She ignores the visual chaos and locks onto a single zebra at the edge of the herd. It is a weak link in the defensive chain. The lioness attacks from the flank. Her knife-like claws sink deep into the zebra's flesh. The zebra stumbles, loses its balance, and finally collapses. A bite to the trachea, and all resistance ends in silence. The Sand People tell a fascinating story about this animal. Long ago, the zebra's coat was entirely white. When a great drought swept the savannah, a fierce baboon took control of the only waterhole. The zebra bravely rose to challenge the baboon. In the ensuing confrontation, the zebra delivered a powerful kick, sending the baboon flying against a rock and leaving the permanent red mark seen on the baboon's rump to this day. However, in the struggle, the zebra lost balance and fell backward into a fire. As a result, the burning logs left long black scorch marks across the zebra's white coat. The energy from 110 pounds of zebra meat is converted into raw, muscular power. The surge of glucose reactivates the clarity and strategic calculation in the lioness's brain. It is time to execute a brutal plan of revenge. Lions are the only cats with a complex social structure, and coordinated hunting is the pinnacle of their tactical intelligence. But this time, the tactic is not a complex encirclement. Their target is specific, the alpha male. Complacent, after his victory, the alpha baboon makes a fatal mistake, straying from the protection of his troop. This is the moment the lions have been waiting for. But they do not anticipate that their roars of victory and the chaos of the hunt have unintentionally awakened the fury of an implacable foe. The Cape buffalo. The Cape buffalo. This is an act of proactive, defensive aggression. The Cape buffalo is the only animal in Africa known to actively hunt lions. The lion pride's perfect ambush rapidly disintegrates. The buffalo has no interest in the baboons. Its only goal is to eliminate the big cats that dared to trespass on its territory. Amidst the chaos, the lions are forced to abandon their kill to save themselves, giving the baboons a chance to escape to the safety of the high branches. Possessing a neck skin nearly an inch thick that serves as a natural shield, and a fused horn boss on its head as hard as rock, the buffalo is a living tank. The baboons have survived by a simple principle. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. And once again, the Cape buffalo has proven that on this savanna, it is sometimes the one that dictates the rules of the game. Having survived life-or-death confrontations with the kings and phantoms of the savanna, the baboon troop now faces a new reality at the edge of the dense forest. The light fades beneath a thick canopy, a place where their intelligence is pushed to its absolute limit. This is the domain of the chimpanzee. At Gom Stream National Park, scientists have documented a harsh reality. Chimpanzees have an intense craving for animal protein. But the baboons are not entirely defenseless. The wahoo call rings out like an alarm, and the entire troop reacts instantly. They take a great risk, scrambling onto the thinnest branches where the chimpanzees' heavier bodies cannot follow. Here, their smaller size becomes their greatest advantage for survival. The intelligence of the baboon has long captured the attention of biomedical science. They share up to 94% of their DNA with humans and have organs of a similar size. Baboons were used in some of the first heart and liver transplants and as research models for epilepsy. Their silent suffering in laboratories remains an ethical debate without end. In their conflict with chimpanzees, the baboons are rarely alone. Sometimes, the chimpanzee's hunt is met with an unexpected obstacle. The appearance of a hornbill shatters all of their plans. Lacking the fine serrations on its primary wing feathers, the hornbill's aerodynamics are poor. This creates turbulent airflows, causing each wing beat to produce a resounding whoosh sound. At a distance of over 300 feet, the noise can reach 70 decibels. The jarring sound in the quiet forest is like the roar of a motorcycle. From its vantage point above, the hornbill misses no movement below. It possesses 4-channel color vision, allowing it to detect spectrums of light invisible to most mammals. To the bird's eyes, the black coats of the chimpanzees stand out sharply against the green foliage. Upon spotting a threat, the startled hornbill takes flight. Its heavy wing beats and alarm calls echo through the forest. For the baboons, this is precious information, a clear signal that chimpanzees are very close. The element of surprise, the key to any successful ambush, has completely vanished. Below, red river hogs approach quietly. They are drawn here by a symbiotic relationship. Over 30% of the fruit dropped by the primates above becomes a buffet for them on the forest floor. A group of red river hogs, known as a sounder, typically consists of 12 to 20 individuals. They move like a whirlwind, sweeping the ground beneath the trees. Their snout, with its tough cartilage and elastic nasal disc, combined with powerful neck muscles, turns them into living plows. They can churn up 4 inches of soil in seconds, searching for roots and insects. Their sense of smell acts as a highly sensitive biological radar. The noise from the sounder plunges the immediate area into chaos. They inadvertently become spoilers of any ambush that relies on the chimpanzee's silence. However, chimpanzees dare not challenge the Red River hogs. These animals can weigh up to 220 pounds and reach speeds of 22 miles per hour when threatened. True to their name, they are excellent swimmers and will not hesitate to dive into water to escape. But the greatest threat to the chimpanzee's plan comes from the African bush elephant. These ecosystem engineers possess the power to alter the very structure of the forest. An adult elephant must consume over 300 pounds of vegetation each day. Their inefficient digestive system compels them to eat almost constantly. With a trunk containing over 40,000 muscle bundles, they can topple even large trees. Each felled tree inadvertently creates a strategic disaster for the chimpanzees. The fallen trunk blocks the aerial pathways they use to corner the baboons. A dangerous gap now opens in the canopy. The chimpanzees are trapped. They cannot jump across such a void. Their only option is to descend to the ground. And at that moment, the game changes entirely. On the flat forest floor, the biological advantage shifts completely to the baboons. Chimpanzees walk on their knuckles. Their pelvic structure and spine, adapted for climbing, make sprinting awkward and inefficient. Baboons, in contrast, are true four-legged sprinters. They can reach speeds of 28 miles per hour and maintain incredible stamina. The baboons seize their opportunity, dashing across the open ground and leaving their pursuers far behind. As the baboons make their escape, the chimpanzee's hunger remains unappeased. Their gaze shifts to the high canopy, where red colobus monkeys are moving slowly. The presence of the red colobus inadvertently provides a shield for the baboons. When chimpanzees attack, the red colobus monkeys are almost completely unable to resist. They lack the knowledge to escape to the flimsy outer branches as the baboons do. The males gather and scream in an attempt to intimidate, but weighing only 22 pounds and possessing no real weapons, their efforts are futile. The success rate for chimpanzees hunting red colobus can be as high as 85%. Once a colobus monkey is targeted, its chance of survival is vanishingly slim. The baboons live, while the red colobus pays the ultimate price. The baboons' survival instincts and intelligence are not limited to defense. They are also opportunistic predators. Newborn impala become targets for male baboons in need of protein. But the impala mothers do not give up their young easily. Maternal instinct transforms them into fierce warriors. Faced with such determined resistance, the baboons often have to retreat. With Thompson's gazelles, the situation is entirely different. Thompson's gazelles are renowned for their speed, capable of reaching 50 miles per hour. But for a newborn fawn, the primary survival strategy is to remain perfectly still. Its grayish-brown coat allows it to blend in with the dry grass. This tactic might deceive a lion or a hyena, but it is useless against the trichromatic vision of a baboon. They see the young gazelle as clearly as an ink spot on white paper. There is no sound to give warning. The baboon lunges, and a single decisive bite ends everything. So fast, the prey has almost no time to react. It is all over in seconds, cold, precise, and absolute. Escaping the claws and jaws of the land does not mean an end to all danger. The seemingly calm water marks the boundary between life and death. They know that here, all of their survival advantages are rendered useless. A speed of 28 miles per hour on land means nothing in the current. Their phenomenal climbing skills are of no use. They are completely and utterly vulnerable. And the enemy that waits here is a killing machine, perfected over 200 million years. The Nile crocodile, a living fossil from the Jurassic period, is the most successful predator in evolutionary history. It has no need for pursuit. An extremely slow metabolism allows it to lie motionless in the mud for hours on end. The flat surface of the river is a perfect visual illusion. Only its eyes and nostrils break the surface, camouflaged amongst the water hyacinths. On the crocodile's snout are hundreds of dermal pressure receptors visible as small black dots. They are 10 times more sensitive than human fingertips. Amid this relentless cycle, life is sustained not only by muscular strength, but by a symphony of intellect and calculated alliances. Each creature carries its own strategy to compensate for biological shortcomings, where unity forms a protective wall and alertness becomes the ultimate weapon. This game has no room for error, for every fragile gap is a boundary of fate. In the end, reality teaches that to survive, instinct must always be paired with relentless acuity. Dawn breaks over the African plains, draping a thin veil of mist across the golden grasses. At this hour, dappled shadows begin to stir. This is a family of African painted wolves, one of the most cohesive hunting communities on our planet. They move in silence, yet without a hint of chaos. At the heart of the pack, the alpha pair leads with a quiet, steady confidence. They are the leaders, the parents, the nucleus that maintains the rhythm of the entire community. A mere glance or a soft chortle from their throats suffices to direct the group, as if sharing a single mind. In this fragile wilderness, consensus is found not in roars, but in the sharp, rhythmic staccato of a sneeze. It is a primitive democracy. Only when enough voices join this audible choir does the pack move as one, driven by a collective will. Their mottled coats of gold, charcoal, and white are entirely unique to each individual. Each is a masterpiece of nature, painted with a purposeful yet spontaneous hand. Their large, satellite dish ears amplify every sound while dissipating heat against the rising temperatures of the coming day. As the sun climbs, the alpha pair halts at the distant fringes of the plain. A young wildebeest has strayed from its herd, caught off guard in a seemingly harmless moment. For a creature relying on an innate magnetic compass for navigation, isolation means losing both protection and direction. Scientists believe they sense the Earth's magnetic field to guide their epic migrations. Isolated, the calf faces not just a predator, but the disorientation of a vast, overwhelming world. This is the opportunity, and the signal. Without a roar or a bark, the pack surges forward like a sudden, invisible gale. Their slender frames glide over the earth, kicking up columns of golden dust. The group tightens the noose. The pursuit is ended swiftly, efficiently, and with terrifying precision. The entire pack gathers around the fallen prey. There is no quarreling, no jostling for position. African painted wolves are among the few species that regard the sharing of food as sacred. In a land where life balances precariously on the edge, such solidarity is the key to their endurance. As the sun crowns the horizon, bathing their dappled fur in light, the group moves off quietly. A new day has begun, laden with risks, opportunities, and untold stories.